highway. So we are on our way to the zoo this morning, and we're going with my daughter's school. The phone's in a hands-free container. I'm also driving one leg, but don't worry about it. There's like a trailer or something in front of me, and I'm like a highly multi-dimensional species, okay? So I can do like 20,000 things at one time. I'm not saying you should do 20,000 things at one time. Everybody is different. Okay, I have to rub a baby's foot sometimes while I drive, you know? So we've got a trailer in front of us, a wide loader. So we've got, you know, some space, and we're on the highway. It's not a real highway. We're going 60. But I am feeling some guilt around taking a day off from work. And I take weekends off. So this is the funny thing. I do take weekends off. But I'm getting into a more strict schedule of like batching content, networking, meetings, and like balancing that with children and not having a support system at home. I have to get like creative AF to have productivity, okay? And it's not going to be like that way for me forever, but it is, you know, it's the level of ascension that I am being called to go through at this time. So I got in the car, and I haven't been to I keep wanting to say vacation, but that's a whole nother story. I have not been on a field trip in 5 years with my children because my daughter is 7, okay? So my oldest I went on field trips with him, and then I was pregnant with my daughter, and she was a preemie, so like often field trips where we live, you can't take littler kids. And then we moved school system, and they didn't allow any siblings, okay? And I didn't have anyone to watch my little ones, so I would skip out on that stuff. And it kills me. But my daughter, then she homeschooled for her first 2 years of school. She went to school like 6 months, and then she homeschooled for 2 years, okay? And so Sophia hadn't been on field trips. And then Julian's been homeschooling, so he hadn't been on field trips. And so we are in this other school system now. And basically, they said I could bring the little ones. So I had to get all this... Claudia, no. I had to get all this stuff, you know, organized and work my week around it. But so I get in the car and we're going, and I'm really excited to be going, and I set my intent that I was going to do this. But then the body and the amygdala, as soon as we start driving, it goes like, you forgot you were going to do a couple marketing meetings. You know, I could be like working on getting packed and get the car cleaned out, and like working on, I've got my house that I'm getting ready to put on the market that we do not live in, that was vandalized and burglarized. So it started like all these things that I should be doing instead of this field trip. And I had to stop and recognize like, whoa, that's not my higher version of myself, right? Like Jessica is choosing number one, which is family and herself, and taking that time off. And all that stuff is going to be there tonight and tomorrow, right? Like none of it's going to expire. The people that want to work with me are not going to go find someone else. And it's these limiting beliefs that keep us from like experiencing that expand and contract, and expand and contract that the energy has to go through, and that, you know, to allow the soul to grow and play. Literally, like everything's always spinning counterclockwise, clockwise. I mean, it's always in flow. And so sometimes we get stuck, and I kind of felt my brain thinking like, oh, like I could have stayed home and not went on the field trip. You know, this is going to be a lot of work with 2 babies and a lot of money. But no, I'm choosing it. I'm claiming it. And I'm not going to feel guilty about doing the things that I want to do and having that freedom with the kids. This is the last and only field trip of the year that I've been able to be on. And so we're going to enjoy it. And I am definitely, I did bring a extra recording device. And I am gonna do a little bit of content creation if I can. Just, you know, recording a few thingy bingies, as well as do one 15-minute session for my private ladies, my beautiful, gorgeous private clients in Meditation 101, which is a private mentorship certificate program where you become certified in meditation, and you are able to then take that beginner's meditation, which goes over the breath work, the basic techniques, the myths, and debunking, you know, misconceptions about meditation. And then we really dive deep into private coaching sessions and private meditation. And so right now I'm running that as a 7-week program, you guys, for $9.97. I did a special in April, I think it was, where I ran that for $4.97. So a couple people are getting to take advantage of that. But it's just a really optimal way to connect with the body without needing outside stuff and you know, all the woo-woo stuff. All the woo-woo stuff is beautiful and great, and I believe that we should have tools. But if you don't understand those tools and you're not using them properly, or if you're, you know, adding tons of tools before you really master the ones that you have, I'm a firm believer about that. So I'm going to go off on just a quick tangent, and then we're going to stop. But, you know, when we're choosing ourselves, it's about balance and not being in over excess. So when we're taking on a new spiritual tool, okay, you really want to learn about that tool. Juju's hush. You want to learn about that tool. You want to bless that tool. And I learned that from a mentor, honestly. That didn't come to me intuitively. Like, maybe some of it came to me intuitively, but then it came in from a mentor, and it just like clicked, like that download, you know? That we should be blessing the tools and mastering a tool before you move on to the next one. So for me right now, I bought a bunch of instruments during the pandemic for the kids, and then I bought some for me because I wanted them, and I wanted to use them for my healing process and with the children in content creation. And I can tell you, there's not enough hours in the day. Like, it's about like choosing what you want to do, and right now I have to focus on like marketing and mentorship. But so I have the quartz, I have a lot of stuff, but I have the quartz bowls, and I have the kalimba, the steel tongue drum. And the steel tongue, I'm not very good at. You know, that's one that I play kind of like I'm self-teaching myself, but I want to master it and like write some more songs. I have like 3 songs right now, but they're not very good. So I'm gonna ground myself for a second here because I'm not speaking highly of myself. And I want to say there's other tools that I want, and there's other sounds that I want to play around with, but this summer I have made a commitment and set my intention to hone in and focus on the steel tongue drum and the quartz before I take on any more tools and instruments. So just like mastering what I've got right now, not looking for more, and just getting really good at what I've got. So I think that is something that can really set you apart on the market, particularly if you're just starting out. Like I am. I very much consider myself like a beginner, even though I have gotten certified and I have a license and all that. I still feel like I have so much to learn, and there's so much out there. And so it's really, I was telling my private students this last night. Oh, that was our zoo. All right, I'm gonna cut this off because I'm rambling like an idiot, and I'm gonna probably clip that out, save that for another ep, and just leave it at how, the feelings that I had coming up. So I'm so glad I didn't record this live today. XOXO. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.